Ice is ready, and we are back with another episode of the Empty Netters podcast brought to you by BetMGM. Folks, CP's hurting. I mean, it is as bad. It's as bad as it's ever been. The poor guy is on the struggle bus. Florida got the better of him, and here we are. You know, there are times where you think that someone's gonna pull through, someone's gonna make it, and there are times where they're not, and this might be one of those times. But I am your host, Dan Powers, coming at you from the Empty Netters podcast, and next to me, Chris Powers.
As always. What time is it? What time is it? What time is it, dude?
Uh-oh.
Oh, shit.
Are you back?
I'm not allowed to move in my seat because I did promise Red I would never move.
That is actually true.
Holy fucking shit.
Gonna give a quick shout out to Michael in the chat. Birthday boy.
Oh,
Happy birthday, Michael. Absolutely love to see it. Folks, here we are. Here we are coming at you live this morning. I know we've been going live after the games. OT here on the East Coast got super late. The rip back from Sunrise to the hotel was going to take way too long, and we didn't want to give you guys a half-ass episode too late. We didn't want people on the East Coast to miss it. So here we are, 10 a.m. East Coast time on this. What day is it? Friday? Friday. Yeah, I think it's Friday.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, it's Friday.
No.
Here we are coming at you live Friday morning, 10:13 a.m., and we are going to be ripping this episode for you in huge thanks to our partner Snaps, giving us the best hats in the game. CP's wearing it right now. Look at that little chip. Look at that ball marker. It says Ice is ready on it. You can get that customized with anything you want. You can get NHL teams because they got a great deal with the entire NHL. Whatever team you are a fan of, if you're an Oilers fan, if you're a Cats fan, you can get it right on there. Snap one onto the back of a hat you already have or buy a new one. Best golf hat in the game. Here's the thing, folks. It feels like these games are just mind warping us every single time. No matter what is going on, no matter what you think is happening in this series, whatever grasp you think you have, it just keeps going the other way. It's truly remarkable. After game one, everyone went, yep, it's destiny. It's inevitable. It's all Oilers. After game two, people thought, oh my God, Florida stole home ice back. It's all over. And then after game three, people were saying, Cats in 5. Just like it,
oh, dude, yeah.
It's toast.
I said people were celebrating the cup.
And then here we are.
Dude,
insane game. We're going to get into it, but I will tell you right now, the vibes right now are Oilers in 6. Like the vibes right now are, yes.
Oh my God,
it is over. Like it is the Oilers year. It is Mick Dry. It is destiny. That is how much this keeps flipping. We were talking about it last episode. How many times has the momentum flipped so heavily where the fans, the media, everything just goes back and forth. And we are now in a place right now where we are watching this series headed back to Edmonton for game 5, tied up 2-2 after a devastating collapse. And it feels like the Oilers are going to never lose again. It really does.
Dan, before we start, can I travel back in time to the beginning of this show?
Yes.
And before we start, I just want to say we are going to insert into this episode an awesome interview with Logan Thompson.
Yep.
And so everybody in the live, you're going to not get it. But when we put this video up, you're going to get it, and it's going to be sick. And we're going to put that Logan Thompson interview on a mid form. Go subscribe to the YouTube and watch it. Also, we were at a great Bauer hockey event. Huge shout out to Bauer Hockey. We were there on Tuesday. You guys saw on our story. Their Vapor Live event, the Flylight gear is insane. They did such a cool thing. We were in Rockland, Mass, dude. Grinding to Rockland, Mass. But I just want to say, dude, the flight chaos that we went through to get to and from Boston. Everybody asking like, "Oh, dude, how's CP's flights going? Was CP delayed again? Did anything happen?"
Bro, I am telling you, man. I said this last year, and I'll say it again. I fucking hate you. I literally never want to see you again. Every year, like after it all dies down, after everything's finished, I'm always like, dude, just get me away from you. And
dude, can you believe the flight?
Yes, I can.
Can you believe the chaos
I
that we went through?
I can. And dude, I'm telling you, bro, it's genuinely insane how cursed you are. Everything you do, it just goes poorly. And the fact that just shut up. The fact that I have been cursed with you as a business partner and as a brother, it's the worst thing that's ever happened to me. My life would be so smooth sailing if you weren't a part of it. It's actually crazy. And you just alluded to it. Here's another example, chat. Chris will tell you everything that happened with our flights, and then we'll get into this game. Very simple thing like this. Our head of production, that's not his title. He's going to get mad at that. Producer Edge had us sent a couple of lights so the white balance can be great. Chat, all for you.
Yeah, we got lights.
He sends us lights for our night shoots. It's a package delivered to the hotel. I tell these two clowns, producer Red and CP, hey, there's a package down at the front desk. Can you go get it? All of a sudden, all these texts come through. Oh, package isn't at the front desk. It's not here. Can't find it. Don't know where it is. Don't know what to do. Blah, 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 blah. I'm like, what the hell is going on? I go down to the front desk at about an hour later and I go, hey, there was a package delivered alone, by the way. A package delivered for Dan Powers should be at the front desk. Literally 2 seconds later, guy goes, yes, of course, sir. Grabs the package. But for some reason, when this idiot fool goes down to get it, he can't find it. There's a whole snafu. Whole ordeal.
25 minutes.
Unbelievable.
25 minutes I wasted.
Tell the people what happened on those flights.
Flight to Boston. We sleep 2 hours. Board a flight to Boston. Get halfway there, dude, from Fort Lauderdale. And he goes, oh, dude, this is actually hilarious. The pilot goes, bing. Attention, everybody. We have 3 computers on this plane, and we took off with one of them failed. And now the second one has failed, and there's weather in Boston, and I'm worried about if the third one fails, I don't want to land with no computer. And I'm like, what, dude? Like, how would he? Why did we take off with a computer failed? Why did the second computer fail? And why do we possibly think the third computer would fail? Dude, like, just go. What are we talking about? But he goes, bing, we are going back to Fort Lauderdale. And I go, that's not possible because I'm already in North Carolina. Let me parachute out of the plane at the very least. Bing, we're going back. And then you will sit in Fort Lauderdale for 2 hours before we fly you to Boston. And then you will be in rush hour traffic. And then you will nearly miss the Bauer Vapor Live event because you were going to drive for 2 hours in an Uber. And I go, okay. So we do all that. Then we go to the event. Then we come back. Or no, then we stay up till 5 a.m. We sleep 2 hours again. And then we drive back to Logan in rush hour traffic again. And then we get on the airplane. And then, bing, we are having a nose issue. Dude, what did he say? He was like the nose of the plane is like
it was like a hydraulics issue. Yeah, in the
he's like the nose is
front landing gear or something
bouncing. Bing, we have a nose issue. And he goes, we've had it the whole time. We had a nose issue on the way in. And then they're looking at it. And I'm like, what do you mean they're looking at it, dude? Why weren't you looking at it when you land it. And he goes, we're looking at it. We're going to get it squared away, and then you'll take off and go back to Fort Lauderdale. And we're sitting there, and then he goes, bing, the nose issue is fucked. We have to get off the plane. And I'm like, dude, what are you talking about? And then we get off the plane for 3 hours and then get on a new plane and fly to Fort Lauderdale. And I want to give a quick shout out to that other kid on the plane when we got on the new plane.
Yeah.
And that kid in the front row, remember? He was like, dude, are you guys...
Bro, that is the most uncomfortable I've ever felt in my entire life. Boarding an airplane.
Well, no, but don't be mean to him. He was the man.
No, he was the man. But boarding an airplane, the kid in the front row of the plane was like this, can I have a picture? And I'm like,
after the whole plane has been binged to death.
When my entire personality, literally my entire personality is built around being efficient when getting onto an airplane.
Dude.
And he was like, can you stop? I was like, dude, this better be the quickest picture of all time.
Yeah, the people,
I've never felt more awkward.
It was a kerfuffle on the plane. That was kind of sick.
It was truly insane.
So huge thanks to Bauer, but what an ordeal.
Yeah, huge thanks to Bauer. Well, that was amazing. Love the Bauer squad. Massive ordeal. And we were able to get back and we're able to get to game 4. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about this game. That's why people are here. That is why we are dialed into this episode. We want to talk about the insanity that was game 4 of the Stanley Cup final. Florida up 2-1 in the series. They come into this game after absolutely waxing Edmonton. Kind of an embarrassing display. From Edmonton in game 3.
Oh, yeah.
And then we come out very, very quick work by Florida, getting up 3-0 in the first period. Everyone thought it was over.
Okay. So this hockey game, we were on an Oilers show. We're on Tyler's show, talking to a lot of Oilers fans before the game. I had said many times the first period of this game was everything, because if you were the Oilers, you have to punch back. You have to answer, dude. Like, dude, even if the Panthers were up like 1-0, but you had one of those Oilers periods where you're like, we outshot them 15-3, and the Panthers scored a goal, but like whatever. You just had to have that response. And my guy, take a picture.
Keep going.
Take a picture.
Keep going.
Take a picture.
Stop it. Keep going.
Take a picture.
Hey,
take a picture.
You got to pull it together.
Take a picture.
People are trying to watch this episode, and you're being a piece of shit.
It's not my fault.
Keep going.
My guy Stu had to have a good first period because it's game 4 Skinner, and it's all the stuff. Before a goal was even scored, Dan, I wrote down 8-1 shots at like the 10-minute mark. Calamity of the highest order if you're Edmonton. Like, you were getting ragdolled before they've scored, dude. 8-1 shots. And if you're the Oilers at that point, you're kind of being like, well, whatever. If we survive this 0-0, if we somehow get out of this period 0-0, we're okay. But it just felt, I was like, yeah, this is not the way to get out of this 0-0. You're dead. Absolute calamity start. And then you take a penalty after being like, after Connor doing interviews, like, I felt we were killing penalties for 22 minutes last game, can't get our good guys on the ice, can't get into our game. You take a penalty, you take another penalty, 5-on-3, and then Matthew Tkachuk scores.
Yeah.
I'm like, literally have a Hollywood writer draw up a worse start to a game that you can't lose. You can't. Disaster.
Man, it was chat is absolutely cooking you right now. You gotta get it together.
No, I can't. I cannot.
Listen,
I cannot get it together.
I don't even know really how to process that game. Truly. You come into that game, if you're Edmonton, you need a huge bounce back. And yes, you take a bunch of penalties in the first period. Also, I thought Stu was playing great in the beginning of that first period. It was honestly a bit of a sewer that he got yanked. And they were, I mean, God, you just said it, Chris. I think it was like shots were like 9-1 at a point. And there were so many chances for Florida. They almost scored so many times. It was still 0-0. And I was just like, Jesus Christ, man. Like if they break one through here, it feels like this is going to be just toast for Edmonton.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, they get that 5-on-3. Matthew Tkachuk finally scores. And you're like,
Oh,
fuck.
dude. Yeah.
Still on the power play. Matthew Tkachuk scores again. 2-0, 2 Matthew Tkachuk goals. Just like in game 3, it was like, who hasn't gotten going yet? Sam Reinert. Sam Reinert scores that backbreaking, after it got 2-1. Sam Rhino scores.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, you're dead. This was like, okay, you need some momentum, Edmonton. And then Matthew Tkachuk scores 2 power play goals. I've never seen anything like it. This game was over. Genuinely over. Hold on. And then Lundell scores. The best line in hockey, the best line in this series. 3-0 with 19-18. I think that goal was scored.
Yeah.
Less than a minute left. 3-0. And it shows such an insane level of resiliency by this Oilers team, but we always get ragged on when we don't give a team credit, when we don't do but there are times, guys, where it's necessary to talk about what is going on in a series when a team collapses. And the facts of the matter are this, in my opinion. 3-0 with a goal in the last minute in the first period when you're on home ice and up 2-1 in the series. The vibes in that arena after the first period were celebrating the Stanley Cup.
Oh, dude.
Like we're in the cold zone.
You're not exaggerating, by the way.
JMO's like Amarant Arena was a party. Like truly, man. Florida Panthers fans running up to us, jumping all over us, being like, oh my God, can you believe it? The Chicklets boys were there. Everyone's running up to them. They're like, you guys doubted us yet again. Oh my God, blah, 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 blah. And I'm not ragging on Cats fans. We love you guys. But it was from the fans. It was a full-on party fest. Oilers are dead. This team sucks compared to us. It's not even close. You idiots in your destiny this, your destiny that. It was a party.
Mm-hmm.
Just peacocking, dancing on Oilers fans' graves. 17-7 shots in the first period. This shit was over. Wouldn't you know it? Second period starts. People aren't even in their seats because they're still out drinking. They're in the concourse. They're at all of the bars and lounges. You blink, it's 3-1. And part of you's like, oh, that happened game 3 too. It's fine. It's fine. But Nuge gets on the board 3 minutes into the second. And then you pull it together a little bit. Stu's been yanked.
Okay, you're jumping ahead of a lot of stuff here. I got to go back.
Well, I mean, you are a piece of shit, and you're not helping me at all in this episode. So if you want to go back.
I tried to talk a second ago, and you go, hold on. And then you kept going. I've been sitting here patiently waiting.
All right, get in there.
I said this last game. I need a data analysis, a computer science. Stu, I think Stu's actually in the chat. Dude, Stu's in the chat. Stu, never needed you more, dude.
Come on.
I need a data analysis on the high sticking penalties this year.
Oh,
there are so many high sticks, and I want to know how many high sticking penalties specifically have been converted into goals. And this will be impossible to analyze, but I need to know how many stick lifts have stopped a goal because it's not the right balance. Like all the attempts to lift sticks are actually just ending up as high sticks penalties and then a goal against you. So it's a conspiracy theory, Dan. It's got to stop.
Mm-hmm.
It's got to stop. And the Oilers, dude, the Oilers are still doing that high hedge when the Panthers go to the top there. They send that penalty killer way up high.
Yeah.
He's like, push it back down the half wall. And it's leaving Sam Reinert in the bumper fucking wide open.
Yeah.
And that second goal, he whiffed. Remember, it went back to him and he like whiffed it. And then it kind of like kicked back to Chucky, and then Chucky scored his second.
Yep. But
I'm like, this is not sustainable if you're Edmonton just giving up 1,000 fucking power play goals. And I know the Oilers fans are being like, well, the calls suck. Like, it's bullshit. We're always on the penalty kill. But I'm like, there are going to be some calls. And you're high sticking people. Like, it's not your fault, or it's not the ref's fault. So that, like, of all the amazing buttons that Knobloch has pushed, the penalty kill has been such a massive problem, and I don't know why they're letting that happen.
Yeah.
And then the third goal, I want to say, holy fuck, that was a dump and change. Like someone kicked that in, and Verhaeghe, God bless him, went in because he was like, I'm the one guy that's got to go.
Yeah.
Can you remember what D-band that was?
No.
But like literally it and nothing forecheck by Verhaeghe. It was like bang turnover, and then Lundell changes, jumps in the play. Whatever you said, 50 seconds left. Unthinkable goal if you're Edmonton. Unthinkable goal.
Like truly, man. It's just I don't understand how there can be so many back-breaking plays in one game for both teams.
Yeah.
Breaks, you're supposed to be dead. It's supposed to be over.
Mhm.
But instead, it just was going back and forth. I don't get it.
And then, dude, and actually some people are saying, Gabriel's saying it's Stetcher. I think he means that was the Stetcher on that turnover. And
yes,
I want to say this, dude, because I have two things to, and this was an incredible night for Edmonton and all their fans, but I have two things to say to Oilers fans. One of them is coming right now. Even with the win, because I wrote this note right here, even with the win, you gotta wear this one. So many Oilers fans were like, dude, Stetcher, we're gonna put Stetcher in, and it's gonna change everything.
Yeah,
dude, he's a puck mover, and Skinner's coming in for Arvidsson. Skinner can possess. Wait till you see Stetcher and Skinner.
Yeah,
and again, they won. So now they get to go. We did it. But I'm like, we're sitting here 3-0. I was like, oh yeah, Stetcher has changed the series. And I was like, okay, dude.
Yeah.
So
and someone in the chat just said he had like 4 minutes of ice time.
Yeah.
I think that is
dude,
correct.
every Oilers fan before the game was like, Brady, oh my God, Stetcher. And I was like, yeah, hell yeah.
Dude, it's like we're in the second period now on your timeline.
Yeah, you may begin the second period.
Stu is yanked.
Oh yeah, let's talk about the poll.
Stu is yanked, and I thought it was aggressive, like 2 power play goals, and then that, in my opinion, meltdown from
yes, that wasn't his fault at all.
And
he made some big saves, like to your point.
He made some huge saves.
Yep.
But dude, I have said it again. I said it on Oilers Nation yesterday. The way that these two coaches adjust, and not a great one from Paul Maurice last night, but the way that these two coaches adjust is remarkable. They're the two best coaches in the NHL, in my opinion. You put in fucking Calvin Pickard,
Jean-Luc,
and the fucking guy makes 19 straight fucking saves. Like, I don't know what it is. I don't know how it gets to this Panthers team so bad. How it gets to the Kings, how it gets to everyone. But this fucking guy comes in and just makes almost 20 straight saves. And it worked. It worked. Like that's the crazy thing is, like, if you're Knobloch, you're like, yeah, I mean, I had to make a decision. I made it, and it won them the fucking game.
Dan, it completely did.
But the bigger thing for me, going back to the rant I was on about the fans and the vibe in the arena.
Yeah.
That game was one of the bigger fall asleep, you fucking idiots started lifting the cup in your head as well, I have ever seen. And I will never understand how professional athletes, how guys in the NHL, and I'm truly not shitting on anyone. I'm saying I'm trying to process it in my head, how you can fall asleep at the wheel like this against this fucking team, against this Edmonton Oilers team. When you blew a 3-0 series lead last year to this group, how can you do that again on home ice? You're up 3-0 in the first period. In the first period, you think that's enough time to go, yeah, we can stop playing. You outshoot them 17-7 in the first period. You go up 3-0. You effectively rip their fucking souls out of their body. And you go, you know what's a good idea? To fall asleep at the wheel and get outshot 17-10 in the second period. To have their backup goalie in and go, let off the gas. You give up a goal in the first 4 minutes. You give up a goal halfway through to Nurse, and then you let them fucking tie it up, man. Like the second that game was tied 3-3, and it's easy to say this in hindsight, game over. The Oilers won. In the second period, they won when they tied that fucking game up. And it's because I watched, in my opinion, the best team in the NHL with a 2-1 series lead and a 3-0 lead in the game go, let off the gas. Let this Oilers team back into the game. Give them life. What the fuck have we seen happen all playoffs long when you give this Oilers team even the slightest shred of life? What have we seen happen? They fucking kill you. And now here we are, 2-2. Like, we're not even done talking about the game.
Yeah.
But here we are.
Yeah.
The series is now 2-2, and you're headed back to fucking Edmonton.
The pull, let's go all the way back. The pull, I thought was insane. Obviously, you just said hindsight. Like, okay, everything worked out. I thought the pull was so insane. We were with Logan at the game, and I was asking him even when it went 2-0, I was like, what would you do? What would it take to pull Stu? And he was like, it would have to be 4 early in the second. If it gets to 4 early, then you pull him. Yeah. That's an NHL goalie talking. And the start the period pull was, Dan, I thought we were doing a DeBoer situation again, where I was like, not that Knobloch's getting fired, but I was like, holy shit, Knobloch's going to have to answer for this, where he's like, yeah, sorry, there was no reason at all to pull Stu. It wasn't his fault. It was crazy. And I can't stress this enough. Dude, remember somebody in one of our lives, he's probably in the chat right now, but somebody in one of our lives was like, Calvin Pickard's the best, Jean-Luc Picard is the best backup goalie in the league. And I was like, okay. And this, regardless of what you think about that, in game 4 of the Stanley Cup Finals, Jean-Luc Picard cannot be in net. Or your season is utterly and completely over, dude. And Chris Knobloch goes, dude, watch this. Jean-Luc Picard to start the second of a game we literally cannot lose. Stunning turn of events. Stunning. And then the Oilers come out, and it was already 3-1. The shots were 5-0 to start the second, and it's already 3-1. You want to talk about the first period I said the Oilers can't have? That's a second period the Panthers can't have. They start to kind of pull it back, but then Nurse, bang, short side high. And I think Bob that was a good shot, but I think Bob kind of wants that.
I think that's a terrible goal.
Yeah.
It's one of those ones where it's like, it's a good shot, but a short side high from a guy like Nurse, like if you're Bob, you're like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yep.
And like that's what I'm talking about. It's like, that's how the flow is going here.
And also I want to say this, some people in the chat are saying this, and I heard this a ton last night. What do you think? What do you think the captain said in the locker room between periods? Connor changed everything. He gave a speech. Oh
God!
In intermission.
Don't like, I can't roll my eyes hard enough at that,
dude. What? I am salivating for the Amazon show of Connor's yell between periods that changed the whole series.
When you come out, you have a Nuge goal, you have a Nurse goal, and you have a Podkolzin goal. Connor changed the game.
Dude, Mr. Dash 2 in the finals. Mr. Dash 2 and no goals in the finals changed everything in between periods.
Because don't talk shit about Connor.
He yelled at them. I'm just saying he's going to play better.
No, I'm kidding.
He's going to play better.
I tweeted last night, because this has been a big narrative, and this is something I was teasing earlier. I said, make no mistake, the Panthers lost that game. And I love a tweet like that because it's kind of rage baity, but actually couldn't respect more tons of Oilers fans being like, yeah, like, and we'll take it all day.
Oh, 100%, dude, 100%. Also, chat saying it was Perry. I haven't seen the broadcast yet.
It was Perry.
Perry gave a speech, and I actually love that.
Yeah.
I actually love that Perry was yelling at them.
But again, man, it's like the Oilers didn't come out. They had 17 shots, but like, they didn't come out flying. Like, I wasn't like, oh man, the Oilers look so much better this period. The Panthers
weren't there.
Looked
they didn't
like
show
a
up.
fucking JV high school.
They didn't show up. Yep.
Truly, it looked like they were fucking drunk, celebrating. I bet they cracked a bunch of beers after the first period. That's how they looked like they were playing.
Dude, that's so
there was
funny.
nothing. It's not like the Oilers came shot out of a cannon. It was just the same game, and Florida just stopped playing. But I make that comment to say, again, this is the thing that I can't really get my head around, how you possibly can let up like this and let Edmonton back into the game, because this is what we've seen every single series. It's what we saw in game 3 against LA. You are beating them.
Mm-hmm.
And then you just let them claw back. Every time Vegas had a lead, you let them claw back. Dallas, same thing. This Florida team just feels too good and too smart to make these fucking stupid mistakes. And this is how the Oilers keep winning. You win a game like, if you're Edmonton, all playoffs, you win a game like this, and then you never lose again. And that's why I'm like, the chatter right now is Oilers in 6. And man, I'm like, I wouldn't be surprised. We were literally, people were having conversations, not us, but like people are having conversations about Panthers in 5 yesterday after first period. And now we're talking about Oilers in 6. What other series have we ever seen like this?
Oh, it's such a mental roller
crazy.
coaster. Bob, I want to give Bob a little credit. He made an awesome save. I think it was the Barkov delay a game, because it was 3-2 at that point, and then you take a penalty and Barkov's in the box, and you're like, holy shit, it's literally about to be 3-3, which it eventually was. But he made a massive save on that PK where I was like, oh my God, dude, Bob, like that actually could like swing the whole game and keep this series alive if you're the Panthers. And then when it does go 3-3, silent, dude. That is one of the most quiet. I talked about the Perry game tying goal, how loud Rogers was. Dude, that is the most quiet I have ever heard a rink in my life when that went in.
It was soul snatching.
Oh my God, dude, that was insane.
I'll tell you what, man, there was a period where, you know, we compare arenas a lot and vibes.
Yeah.
Oilers fans this is all I have, people. Like that, truly, they're like the only thing that we care about on earth is the Oilers. We defend Panthers fans all the time. They are, I think they're awesome.
Yep.
And I think that arena is awesome. But that arena is a party. People are there drinking, they're hanging out, they're having a great time. It's a Thursday night. And like we said, you go up 3-0 in the first period. Like people just started fucking ripping. And it was awesome. It was awesome to see. There were times in that game when it was 3-3 and Edmonton has a power play. Yeah. And I was looking around being like, are you guys paying attention?
Are you watching
like,
the game?
You are about to die.
Yeah, you've died already. Dude. You're dead.
And yeah, that third goal, it just feels like I can't believe it. It's like everyone all of a sudden realized like, oh wait, what is going on? And like I said, I was texting a bunch of the friends that we've made here who are Florida fans, and you know, all of our hockey buddies, and I was like, game over, and I don't give a shit what happens.
Yep.
And there was a part of me eating crow when Rhino tied it, you know, but I was like, dude, we just saw the Oilers do this in game 2, and you know, Florida ended up winning an OT. So don't get cocky, people. But I do want to talk about Walman's goal.
Okay. Yep.
Game gets tied 3-3. Absolute dagger. Like Florida is reeling.
Yeah.
And now we're in the third period, and dude, all game after the first period, Florida is just doing the cheekiest shit I've ever seen. Just some of these plays where it's like they've got all the time in the world, puck behind the net, possession in their own zone. And they're doing these weird, like, I'm not saying glassing out, but do the smart play. And instead they're going like little cheeky between the legs pass in front of the net for a breakout. Florida gets possession behind the net, or not behind the net, in the corner with a little bit of time. And I was like, okay, like, here you go, guys. Like, try to settle yourselves down. And there's just one of the worst plays you'll ever see. I'm not going to bring up the players, but like,
was it Barkov? I think Barkov and someone in the chat, like, I think Barkov turned that over. Yeah.
Really shitty puck possession.
Yeah.
and then a bad attempted pass up the wall, immediate turnover, immediate pass over to Walman, bottle squirting Walman, clap bomb pass Bob. Oilers take the lead. And those are the ones where like every bit of momentum, right? Every bit of shit talk that you had under your belt,
dude. Yes.
After the Oilers lose their composure in game 3, they tried to get into a fist fight and they got fucking slapped in the mouth. Walman looks like a clown. He looks like a loser. And now all those photos of Walman fucking laughing at Nosek are back. Like a Walman completely redeems yourself.
Yeah,
and he did.
He did, dude.
And it's just like, oh my God, that game could not have gone worse for Florida. And yes, you tie it, but like, dude, blowing that lead, you're up 3-1 in the series. And then you blow this lead. Walman scores. You lose in OT to a Draisaitl goal again. Stu Skinner undefeated in game fours in the Stanley Cup playoffs. Still.
It's so funny.
Calvin Pickard makes 22 saves, 19 straight, 7-0. Calvin Pickard in these Stanley Cup playoffs.
Colin Smythe.
7-0.
Colin Smythe. Dude, somebody was
like that game was a disaster for Florida.
Okay, so I did want to just give a shout out with like a minute. I'm
shouting out my boy Dave in the chat again. He goes, I'm going to need CP to have better posture. And I agree. Like looking at the YouTube right now, I don't know how you're sitting. Like you're sitting on the small of your back.
How about this? How about now?
How about
now, Dave? Ekholm, there was a minute left in the second, and Tkachuk, one squirted to him backdoor.
Yeah.
Literally nude net. Because Jean-Luc is like he's an angles man.
Yeah.
He pushes out so hard. If you backdoor Jean-Luc, it's literally there's no one in the goal. And Chucky, wide open net, and Ekholm blocked it. There were two guys there, but it hit Ekholm's skate. And I was like, man, if that goes in and you go to the room 4-3 Panthers, they go, wow, what a fucking melt job by us, but it doesn't matter. We're winning. That block was monumental. So I want to shout that out. Also, so many people were laughing about they were like Pickard, Jean-Luc Picard, like somebody made a Conn Smythe joke where we were at, and people were like, he could never win Conn Smythe. And I was like, dude, he is undefeated.
He might
literally give him Conn Smythe. I don't understand. Like he's undefeated. And who do you want to give it to? Connor? Connor hasn't done shit in the final. It's a full playoff award. But I'm like, give it to Jean-Luc, dude. He's undefeated.
Here's the crazy.
It's crazy.
Thing. Like truly, here's the crazy thing for me. That game, like Connor's not been great, and you're still there. You're still winning.
Yeah.
And I hate being like the destiny guy. I really hate that shit. But every time the Oilers keep winning like this, I'm like, they are. Like it is, guys. You can hate on it all you want, but you look at there's a video online right now of them winning and Connor's on the bench. He looks relieved. Like he doesn't even get up and celebrate. Like you can see the breath. He's like, oh my God, like well, that's a huge win. Like he was scared.
Oh yeah.
And that like this is the team, dude. This team's picking him up. It's
yes, God,
like
yes,
genuinely, they're picking him up. They're getting it done. And what's nuts about Picard, man, is I hate how you
Jean-Luc.
What's nuts about him is that Sam Bennett 1T in overtime.
What a save.
Dude, what a save. And I know it's positioning. Like I'm sure LT or like Sway would tell me to shut the fuck up right now. Pickard has no clue where that shot is.
Oh, yeah, no, like, he's just getting over. Yeah.
No idea. And like that puck just hits his glove, then hits the crossbar.
Sam Bennett elevates by a half inch.
But aren't those plays over in OT, man? The second that one hit the crossbar, I was just like this. Yeah, you're losing.
Dude, a lot of people, we all thought that went in. Like a lot of people we were with was like that.
Nazem Kadri was with us.
Yeah.
in our
He's like, that was back bar,
and he was like, that hit back bar, and I was just like, I don't think so, man. And it was because it hit the glove that made it look weird. But
well, so I want to say, just about that second period in general, it's really weird to me, Dan, that you can't, and we've seen this all playoffs, that you can't. You can't fix something or make an adjustment in a period. Yeah. If you can do it at intermission, we've seen the Panthers or the Oilers have a bad period and come out and with the speech or whatever happens and you fix it. But when a period starts going one way, I haven't seen a team be able to pull that back till the break.
I know.
So as the second period started to slip away, it was just quicksand for the Panthers. But I give them credit because to start the third, they really did come back hard. Like to start the third, I was like, oh, wow, yeah, this is like a classic Panthers. We got murdered in the first period of game one, and then we figured it out.
Yeah.
But that was the worst period. The second period last night was the worst period the Panthers have played since the third period of game one. Where I was like, I was really like, holy shit, what are you doing? In fact, that's actually the only two periods in my mind, the whole series, that the Panthers have looked like the worst team. Third period, game one, second period, second period, game four. And they 100% were drunk on, I think the cup was being engraved. Like, I think somebody has to go fix the cup now because they started putting the Panthers' names in it. And the Panthers were sitting there watching it happen between periods.
Yeah.
And in my mind, Paul Maurice went, hey, idiots, the series isn't over, to start the third. But this is where you pay the price of playing this Oilers team who are so good, because the third period, you're not good enough to just go, we'll just win now. Because I'm like, the Oilers are nasty, dude. You think you can just beat the Oilers when you feel like it? I think you're probably better than them, but you can't just beat them when you feel like it. They're fucking gross. And the third period was exactly that, where they go, I think we're playing slightly better than not than the second period. You're playing way better than the second period. I think you're playing slightly better than the Oilers. Bang, Jake Walman goal in the back of your net. Now you're going to lose. Very cool comeback. It's crazy that we've seen two epic. Very cool. It was nuts. I was filming that just like I was filming in game 2, just to like get the end of the game. Like, I was like, this game's over.
Sorry. I very cool comeback for Florida. I'm sorry. I thought you meant.
No, like very cool. Comeback.
People went nuts, man. People went nuts, and that was awesome.
So that was sick. And kind of wild that we've seen you said this, but the two teams that had last second comebacks, which almost always ends as a win. Yeah. Because you're like, hell yeah, both lost. Yeah. Which is what a narrative. Again,
it's always so funny, like going the hindsight of a narrative. It's like I look at that and I'm like, I thought, I was like, you're gonna lose still, because
you did, yeah. I didn't know. It just felt because Bob made a huge save on Draisaitl with like 3 minutes left to keep it a 1-goal game, and then you get the who scored that last one, Rhino?
Yes.
Then you get the Rhino goal, and I was like, okay, maybe this is something. I teased that I had a second thing I wanted to say to Oilers fans. I want to say it right now. This was. I saw a lot of Oilers fans after. Most of them admitted it, but I saw a lot of Oilers fans after who were like, dude, like, where happened? Blah, blah. Every Oilers fan on earth, including McDavid's wife, knew that they had lost after the first period. Nobody was like this. A lot of hockey left. Trust us. We can come back. I'm serious. Not a single one of them.
Dude, I think Oilers, I mean, like a lot of the Oilers fans that we have met and have become friends with were texting us after the first period, and they were like, Jesus, man, like we weren't even close to this series. I got a text that said we weren't even close to this series.
Correct.
And here we are.
And now you've won the cup. But I need Oilers fans, and it doesn't change. You get to still celebrate your parade, and that's awesome. But I need them to know deep in their hearts that they completely gave up. And any single fan that tells you that they thought they were coming back in that game and the series is a fucking liar, dude. It is full of shit. And it doesn't matter. The cup's the cup, and you get to win it. But that killed me, dude, laughing with all them when they were like, you can't doubt this team. And I was like, well, you can, because you did. And we all knew that this game was over.
And no one's blaming them.
Yeah, like, no, dude, like of course not. Of course not.
I'm telling you. So, here's some more stats for you guys. In the Stanley Cup, Playoffs. Teams are 37-0 when leading 3-0 after the first period. Now 37-1.
Yep.
Like, how many times with this Oilers team
Yep.
have we seen stats like that make no sense get broken?
Paul Maurice, 31-0 with a lead after the period.
Yeah.
31-2 now.
Yeah.
2 losses in the last 4 games.
It's like they just continue to snatch these wins out of nowhere that make no sense. And that's I suppose why I'm losing my mind. And you know, if I were a Panthers fan, I would be pretty freaked out right now because those stats don't make sense. And they certainly don't make you feel good.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, if I'm a Panthers fan and I know this team and I know this coach and this group, and you said on home ice, after a 17-7 shot performance in the first period, you were up 3-0 and you lost. Like if I called someone and went and they missed the game and I go, dude, after the first period, this happened. And then you lost. You would go, what?
Mm-hmm.
Like, how did they let that happen?
Yep.
That is why I'm like, I'd be freaking out. It's this Oilers team. I've been doing exactly this, just like stuttering over my words since round 1, because they're so difficult to understand. And so many people go, you can't count out Connor and Leon. And I know Leon scored the overtime winner, but guys, that was an own goal.
Yeah.
Like, hey, listen, get pucks to the net, but let's not act like it was that beautiful power play goal that Connor and Leon scored. Like, that was a lucky bounce. The fact that they're winning these games and it wasn't even Connor and Leon picking them up, like, that's why they're so confusing.
That's why they're going to win, dude.
And I don't get it. I do not get it in the slightest. And the reason I'm giving Florida a bit of a hard time is, like I said, they lost this game. Like, you guys let this happen. The Oilers didn't beat you in this game. Like, you let this collapse happen. And I don't get how this group and that coach on home ice lets that happen.
And
like this is the craziest series I've ever
agree, Dan. Agree.
And that game might have been the craziest fucking hockey game I've ever seen in my life. Not because like, oh, the action, the this, the that, the just literally the ability to let what just transpired go down is something that my brain can't compute. It's the craziest game I've ever seen.
And so many people being like, dude, well, you know, people keep forgetting the Oilers. This is what the Oilers do. After a big loss, they just come back and win. They always win. And again, the history will show you're right. You did win. But this was after a big loss, you got murdered again.
Exactly. Like that's I will fight back on you, chat. Like, they didn't win. The Oilers didn't win this game. Like the Panthers lost this game. And it's not like it was like, guys, they were up 3-0.
LT said to us, he was like, dude, this is the most Oilers game I've ever seen, because if you get up on them, you go to sleep, and then they just don't quit. And dude, so much credit to them, because they don't quit.
Yes.
Like, they could have rolled. We keep being like, the Panthers fell asleep in between periods. True. But the Oilers could have 100% rolled over.
They could have gone, oh, we're dead.
Belly,
and
dude.
they just kept battling.
And they said, get the next one,
Mm-hmm.
get the next one, get the next one. And they're like, God, dude. So, and it's not even your guys. It's not like Connor came out and went insane. Oh, I did want to say Connor, there was a save in overtime where Connor went like,
I danced through everybody.
Yeah, and this was like,
oh,
this was the highlight goal.
Yep.
Holy shit. And,
Yep.
and there was a save there. That's the only time I actually did think the Panthers were going to still win, because I was like, oh shit. That felt like it. That was the YouTube moment. And that was insane. I also want to say, Stu said, and a lot of people in the chat are obviously making fun of my posture right now because I'm in shambles. But Stu goes, imagine being a professional athlete and having your performance criticized by someone
looking
like this. And to that, I would say, I dare any one of those athletes last night to do what I did to myself last night and then be awake right now talking.
They might not be able to.
Might not.
They might not be able to.
I fucking dare anyone on the Oilers to do what I did to myself last night and be not in a hospital. And here I am, dude.
Oh,
Here
God.
I am making fucking plays. Dude.
You are. I need one of these teams to win this series so badly, so I can get away from this
fuming.
Kid.
Okay.
My God.
Few things for me.
Yeah.
Well, big picture. I do think if you are a Panthers player, certainly, or a fan, I still think they're doing this. Bro, we went to OT twice in Edmonton, should have beat them twice. The one we lost, we blew a 3-1 lead. And then this game we lost, we should have beat them 20-0, and we choked on ourselves. It's Panthers in 6 easily because it should have been a sweep. We literally should have swept them. I still think that's the rationalization spin zone if you're in the Florida camp. I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying I can see where the confidence is coming from still, because if you look at the facts, that's kind of how the series has gone.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, this is I feel like the craziness that's been going on in our minds trying to break this stuff down is, I don't ever want to not give Edmonton credit.
Yeah.
Like,
oh my God, dude.
I really like what you said of they kept chipping away. I mean, the fortitude of that Oilers team to be down in the series, down 3-0 after the first period, and go, don't quit, dude.
Yes.
Keep playing. That is where they deserve all the credit in the goddamn world. It's really, really remarkable with that much pressure in the Stanley Cup final, back-to-back years, to be able to battle like that when you're away too. You're on the road.
My God, dude. Totally.
Like the team, like I said, picking each other up. Goals from Nuge with an injured wrist. Goals from Nurse. I think his what was that? Nurse is like fourth of the playoffs, second of the playoffs, because it was Podkolzin second of the playoffs. And I'm like, man, like these guys are. There's no quit. They are picking each other up. And third of the playoffs for Nurse, and second for Pod, second for Walman. Like guys who haven't been scoring, picking you up, getting you that win. That was remarkable. But I stand by everything I said. It was also remarkable for Florida to go to sleep. And I don't know how teams keep making these mistakes against them, but it was the most Oilers win ever. And I am yet again sitting here going, momentum clearly means nothing in this series.
Yes. Oh my God, dude. And I've been such an advocate of that not being true. I'm like, there is momentum. What the fuck? And everybody's like, oh, it's all zero. Start the game. And I'm like, no, it isn't. It completely matters game to game. Wrong. Like this series is fucked.
Momentum clearly means nothing. And where it felt like Florida had all of it, they just lost a brutal game. And it's 2-2 now. You're going back. And I know you got mad at me for talking about the ice, Chris, but like,
dude, people got mad at you for that.
Did they?
Well, just in the comments, it was like
the
ice.
But you're going back home. You're going back home if you're the Oilers.
Yep.
And I just think you've got to feel good,
dude. You feel great if you're Edmonton. Oh my God,
take
best of 3 with 2 at home.
Yeah, like take the momentum away, but like you're best of 3 now with 2 at home, and you just broke their back, and it's nuts. At the end of the day, Edmonton responded. You got your back broken in game 3, and you responded in 1.
Just like they all said they would.
Florida, you just got your back broken. Will you respond?
Fair. Good take, Dan. Good take.
Will you respond? Because this was backbreaking. If you're Florida, you were cup celebrating. You were planning the parade, and you just got your back broken. Now let's see how you respond. And I don't know. It's like how can we call it? How could anyone predict these games? If you say you have, I think you're lying. My question for you is, if you're the Oilers, who do you start in this game?
So this was a big one. Yeah.
There was a period for me, certainly, where when Stu got yanked and it was 3-0 still, like start of the second, 3-0 still, I was going, you have to start Stu in game 5.
Oh my God. Yes. Yeah.
But now Pickard is 7-0 and he just made that many saves. 19 straight to straight up keep you in that game, makes that huge save on Bennett in OT. Like, I actually think that you have to start Pickard.
It's not even a question, Dan. I'm dead serious. And I just want to give one guy in the chat a shout out, or person in the chat a shout out. Don't know if it's a guy, CG. He says, harping on McDavid all podcast, top 5 player Barkov through 4 games, -3, 2 power play assists, overcommitted on the game 1 OT winner, walked by McDavid on that power play assist, massive giveaway for the Walman.
Oh, don't worry.
CG?
Don't worry. It's in my notes. We're getting to it.
Completely agree.
Yep.
Barkov has been nowhere near good enough. I want to say,
I would say he's been bad.
and I want to say, I don't know. I'd like to look up his plus minus last year. It's not like, I think we would all agree Barkov was good against McDavid last year, and McDavid had back-to-back 4-point nights. Like, McDavid went off in the playoffs last year. You can still be good when you're just eating 5-on-5 minutes against McDavid all the time. But Barkov has been not the player that you need to win this series. Yeah. That being said, you should have already won this series if you're Florida, even with this Barkov performance, but you're not, and he's not doing it.
Yeah.
So, CG, you're 100% right. I didn't mean to say McDavid hasn't been living up to standards and Barkov is. Yeah. Neither of them are doing it.
Yeah, it's one of those tough things where Connor's stats aren't that great. And when you look at the player that Barkov is, you have to chalk that up to a lot of good stuff from Barkov, right? Yep. You're like, yeah, well, that's probably why. It's because Barkov is neutralizing him a bit. But yeah, part of the, maybe you say too, like, well, maybe Connor's doing that to Barkov.
Yeah.
Think about it like that too.
Fair. I like that, Dan.
But yeah, he has not been nearly as offensive as he needs to be.
And
it's tough, right? Like, people are like, he's Selke winner. Like, that's not what you need him to do. But I'm like, yeah,
it is, dude.
You do need it. Like, he is your first line center.
A couple times.
Yeah.
So to get back to the goalie, it's not even, and I'm sad, dude, for Stu. I love Stu Skinner.
Yeah.
I think he's one of the most fascinating players in the league. And I feel bad because it was a cool narrative that he's like, oh my God, I get pulled and I kind of reset. Obviously, he does all the mental health stuff and the sports psychology stuff. He resets and then he's like, boom, I'm dialed.
Yeah.
There's no, you don't get to reset after this.
Yeah.
And again, I don't even think it was his fault, but you're done. You're done for the playoffs. Jean-Luc Picard is starting game 5, game 6, and game 7. I don't even think, actually, I'll pose this to you. What could happen in game 5 that Stu Skinner starts in game 6?
A game like game 3.
Is that really though?
Yeah, I would.
If the Oilers lose 6-1 in game 5, you start Stu in game 6 in Florida.
Yeah.
After he gave up 9 goals in 4 periods.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah. What do you mean, really? Like,
I just don't think you can go back.
If your backup loses 6-1, yes, I would go back to my starter. And also, I would look at what happens after Stu gets a rest. He gets shut out.
Yeah. True.
So yeah, like, what are you fucking talking about? I think it's not even a question if that happens.
6-1. That's your line.
No, I think giving up more, losing by 3 or more goals. Yes, you go back to Stu.
3 or more. Well, the note I wrote was this Edmonton goalie situation will be studied forever. I literally cannot believe what we're watching.
It will literally, dude, it will break every model of understanding. It will break every model of understanding in NHL history. Truly.
I am a person.
If this team somehow wins a Stanley Cup with this goaltending
two worst goalies like that have ever been in the playoffs,
it will truly be studied forever. Like we talk about all the time, you need a blue chip to win a Stanley Cup. There's, in the last 10 plus years, there are only a couple of examples of like, oh yeah, that team kind of figured it out without a great goalie. This one is going to break every stat and under a piece of understanding we've ever seen. And again, the crazy thing is, we're not getting last year Connor performance of like 45, 42 points in the playoffs. It's like, I'm telling you, man, the double, the two-sided coin of that game of I will never understand how that Florida Panthers group just let that happen. And I will never be able to give enough credit to the Oilers team. And again, not McDry, for picking them up and going, don't quit. Don't quit. Like we have lost the Stanley Cup, but don't quit. And they just battled back. And not only did they battle back in one period. Like it took them one period to get back in that game. Away.
Yes.
Like it is.
Yes.
I've genuinely, I've never seen a hockey game like it, because it's crazy when you see a team, because Florida they got 10 shots in that second period.
Yeah.
But were they great shots? Pickard made 19 straight saves. Were they great saves? I can
remember a few great ones, but not all of them.
I don't think.
I wrote in the second period a note: the choosing to not shoot on Calvin Pickard, it was a choice.
So I don't think there's any, and chat, if there are some Panthers fans in the chat, please chime in. I don't think that they can go, dude, like second, third period, we still played great. Like I thought you played poorly. I thought you played very poorly. And that is what I'm like, how do you do this? How do you let that happen? So it's not like, yeah, they went up 3-0, but then it was just a slugfest. Like the Oilers got back in the game and Pickard was standing on his head. He was making insane saves. Like the Panthers were all over them. And then the Oilers just like chipped away.
Yep.
That is where I'm like, that's why the game is so confusing to me, because Oilers deserve all the credit in the world for still playing, for getting goals past Bob. But it was just like the sloppy turnovers that led to the Walman goal. It was the sloppy turnovers that led to the 3 before that. It was just bad hockey from Florida. And that's why I can't believe that they let that happen.
You're right. Everything you're saying is right. And to pile on, they kind of wasted Tkachuk's going now. Like there were a few things where you're like,
Definitely wasted that.
Oh my God, now it's the Oilers' worst nightmare. These are games that you now lost. That's insane. Somebody said I was trying to flag a couple things in the chat, but they're buzzing right now. A couple people said it's like the raw Pamela, like the entire team is playing with Connor. That's the difference. And I do think, man, to have your backup goalie in and get a nurse goal, a pod goal, that and a Walman goal to take the lead, like that's what's doing it for you, is inspiring. If you're Edmonton, absolutely inspiring. What an incredible like full team effort. The goalie thing that you were talking about, to have these guys, I am actually a pretty big advocate of, you don't truly need that AA plus blue chip guy. And I know I don't have a lot of data to back me up. Everyone always points to Kemper, Colorado. Mm-hmm. That's like the only one recently. But I am kind of
so annoying. He's literally a Vezina finalist.
I know.
Last year. Like,
but even fair. So it's like it's even worse for me.
Yeah.
But I'm kind of like, I just still don't buy it. I think a guy can get hot. I think you can figure it out. Even with my stance that you don't need a guy, it is unimaginable to win the Stanley Cup with 2 goals. You have a tandem and both stink.
Yeah.
And your megastars aren't really doing it. And which I know is so crazy to say, because they're leading the playoffs in points. So it's not like they're not playing well.
They're not doing it the way they normally do it. But that's,
well, you'd think if we're going to win with Jean-Luc and Stu giving up 1,000 goals a game, it's because Connor and Leon are outscoring them. And I'm like, they're actually not.
Yeah.
It's one of the craziest things I've ever seen, dude. I'm serious.
It goes into what I said on Morning Cup of Hockey yesterday. I'm sick of, and I don't know how many times I need to say it. Draisaitl is my favorite forward in the league. Mm-hmm. I love this guy. But I'm over it. I'm over everyone talking about these two.
Yeah.
It's the team.
It's the team. Dude, the team.
It is the team. Like the books will be written about this Oilers team, about this playoff run.
It's amazing.
If and when this Edmonton team wins the Stanley Cup, the team deserves documentaries made about them.
Yeah, dude. No joke. No joke.
This group deserves documentaries made about. I'm telling you, the clip that I just saw of the relief on Connor McDavid's face on the bench when they won in overtime will be the headline of documentaries.
Yep.
And that's not a knock on McDavid. It's the relief that I don't believe he's been allowed to feel often enough in his career of going, holy shit, the boys
picked it up.
The boys just saved us in that game.
Yep.
Like that I think is a feeling that Connor McDavid has not been able to feel many times in his career.
Yeah, true.
Here we are in the Stanley Cup back-to-back years where he's just been balling out his whole goddamn life. He balled out last year, leading the playoffs in points. And this is a game where he was like, I'm not going. Barkov's all over me. Lundell's all over me. And I'm not going. And Nuge gets a goal.
Yeah.
And like Nuge.
Yeah, he was hurt. He was hurt as hell.
Like the bust, the guy, like, what is Nuge done?
14 years.
Nuge goes, hey, wake the fuck up. We're still in it. Nurse gets a goal. Who are the two people that I called out on Morning Cup of Hockey yesterday? I was like, what about Nuge, dude? What about Nurse? They get goals. And they look at Connor and go, hey, come on, we're in this.
We got you. Yep.
Pod, your fourth liner gets a goal. Walman, your deadline pickup gets a goal. Like this team is just never quitting, and they are consistently going, oh, are we out of it? No. These guys, the depth, the randomness of the team, they are keeping them alive. They are making them stay in the fight. And I'm like, holy fuck, man. Like that is the headline. That is the narrative of when this team wins the Stanley Cup, of how they did it. It's this. And like that clip, I can't get over that clip because I'll just say it again. It's a look on Connor's face that I've not seen often. And I bet right now he is in Edmonton and he's like, fuck yeah, man. Like these guys are keeping us alive. Yep. Like it's not just me. And I don't think he's ever felt it's just me because he's such a
I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
But like, he's like, it's not just me and Leon. Like we're all doing it. We're all pulling the sled in the right direction. That must be a feeling that is so invigorating for him.
You go like this. You go, we can do it. Yeah. And he truly believes, because he's right, this team can do it because it's coming from everywhere and every line and every corner of the roster. Somebody said, I think it was Ginny, somebody said in the chat, I can't believe how high scoring the series has been.
Yeah, me too.
Totally agree.
What a fucking idiot I am. I was like, I'm all over the under. There's literally 9
Dude,
goals
I said
in the game.
I was like, I'm due for an under too. Totally agree. And I'll say this again, man. And this is probably harsh, but you can't give up 5 goals a fucking game if you're Bob.
Oh, it's bad.
Bob's been so good. He's made some really great saves. The Oilers have scored 4+ in 3 of the 4 games.
Yeah. No, it's bad. It's really bad.
You cannot lose the goalie battle, dude. How many fucking series in a row can I say this? And it's like, at least when Dallas is losing the goalie battle, which is unacceptable, and it got Pete DeBoer fired because he was so rattled about it. At least when Dallas is losing the goalie battle, it's because Stu is playing sick. Yeah. And you go, Otter, you have to be better than Stu Skinner, but you're just not right now, and I don't know what to tell you. When Aiden Hill is losing the goalie battle, Jean-Luc Picard is playing sick, and I'm like, okay, fucking Christ. Bob losing the goalie battle is a death sentence if you're Florida, and the Oilers goalies are playing horribly. It's not even like they're playing great. And I'm like, damn, Bob, you got outplayed. Because that's sports, right? Yeah. Bob's the better goalie than Stu or Jean-Luc, but they could outplay him. That's sports. Stu and Jean-Luc are, I mean, I don't want to dog Jean-Luc. He hasn't even been in yet. And he actually played good. So, but Stu, my guy, has been brutal. And Bob gives up just as many goals. Like, I swear, man, we are going to talk about this at the end. People are going to go, but the Panthers lost for a lot of reasons, but one of them is because Bob got lit up all series.
It's maybe not being talked enough about, CP.
I agree.
Because, I mean, let's talk about this. Game 3 was big, right? It was good for Bob. And the thing that sucks is 2 OT games in one. I mean, the fact, by the way, we haven't even said this. 3 of 4 games.
Crazy,
have gone to OT
dude.
in this
So
series.
crazy.
Like, I feel like we're forgetting that. But games 1 and 2, he gives up many goals, yes, but he made like 40 saves.
I know.
You know, like it's just like he's getting peppered in games 1 and 2. And I'm like, yeah, but it's to me, it's more on the D. I'm like,
Sure.
When Bob's making 40 plus saves in games 1 and 2 and giving up what was it, 4 and then 3 goals? What the fuck would the score of those games?
I think 4-3, 4-3. No, 4-3, then 5-4.
Oh, so we've got 2 5-4 games.
Yeah, 2 5-4 OTs.
Yeah, you're right. Jesus Christ. No.
Yep.
Look that up.
No, buddy. I don't even have to. Pal.
Well, either way, I'm pretty sure Bob had like 38 or 40 plus saves in both games 1 and 2. And if you're him, I think you're a little bit like, dude, you got to give me a little bit of a break here if you're going to be dogging me. Yeah, 5-4. Jesus Christ.
So I hear you, dude. Like, his save percentage isn't horrible, but I'm telling you, dude. And people saying like, I don't think it's on Bob. I don't think it's on Bob.
Hold on. It's not on Bob. But yeah, you give up 4, 4, 1, 5. That's Sergei Bobrovsky. Like, people being like, that's your Conn Smythe. Like, that's not good. That is very not good. And now, my point is, you're going back to Edmonton. You think you're giving up 1 goal at Rogers Place,
dude? Like,
he's going to give up 3 goals minimum on Saturday.
I guarantee it. Dude.
Like, he's going to give up 3 goals.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I'm looking at Florida and I'm like this. You better be prepared to win 5-4 in Edmonton, dude.
Which is a big task. Like, you literally have to go.
Like, good
which is
God.
so funny, Dan, because I'm going like this. You got to score 4 goals if you're going to win. And they have their AHL backup in. And I'm like, but somehow it feels impossible. Like, literally, I'm like, you have Jean-Luc Picard in a fucking pivotal game 5 of the Stanley Cup Finals. And I'm like, you can't score on him. You can't score on him and you're going to lose because Bob is going to give up 1 million goals. Like, what twilight zone are we living in? But that's what the Oilers did this year, dude. The Oilers, this is twilight zone. The Oilers have created twilight zone and they are living in it. We are all living in it now. And that's what's happening. That's where we're at.
It's this series. This is the drunkest, most nonsensical series I've ever watched. It's when we're staring down the barrel of going, yep, we're about to head into game 5 in Edmonton. Bob is giving up 4 goals a game. Stu Skinner's been benched, and Calvin Pickard is 7-0 in the playoffs. He's literally their MVP. Connor didn't score a single goal in that game. You've got
Connor hasn't scored yet.
You've got Colson, Nurse, and Walman picking up the ball. Like, nothing makes sense. And as a neutral fan, it's exhausting. It's amazing. I'll admit it is exhausting. Like, I am sitting here like, good God, like I can't take much more of this. And yeah, I don't know what to say. I genuinely don't have a clue how to predict. And you know what? No one does. There is not a single person like you. There are people who get mad at us. By the way, I love shouting this out because every now and then fans get drunk, they get mad, and they'll come at us online and they'll say mean things and this and that. We get a DM this morning. So some Oilers fans were like, you fucking guys, like, you love Florida too much. And we get a DM this morning from a guy that says, grow some balls. You guys are pussies.
Oh, yeah.
Keep your dopey Canadian heads on a swivel. You total cock-chugging pussies. It's real. What's real? Also, cock-chugging,
dude, what's real?
Is maybe the funniest thing I've ever heard in my entire life. So, Brian Miller.
How are you? Come over.
Thank you for that one.
Let's have a beer, Brian.
Cock-chugging is like genuinely the funniest thing I've ever heard.
Canadian.
But we're not Canadian. I don't chug cock. And I assume that's a Florida fan being like, you guys are Edmonton fans.
Yeah.
So it's just
Stu goes, oh, good. You got my message.
So like, we can't win. But the point I'm trying to make is every now and then, like people will get mad at us if they don't agree with the take, and they're like, "Who are you two losers? You didn't even play in the NHL. You're a couple of morons." And I'm like,
I never said that wasn't true. I never once said that wasn't true.
Never once. The larger point is, I dare anybody to look at Wayne Gretzky, to look at Kevin Bieksa, to look at Jason Demers, like our buddies who played in the NHL, who are great minds for this game, and see anyone who's predicted anything in this series. You will not find one. You will not find a single person. This has been one of the craziest series I've ever witnessed, and it's absolutely breaking my brain. My brain is broken.
Yes, it is. I had said I picked Oilers in 5. Obviously, that was wrong.
Yeah.
But everybody was talking yesterday. If you could repick, what is it? And we were all kind of like, sure, feels like Panthers in 6.
Yeah.
That's the way it's going. I said it'd probably be a tight one last night, but if it was going to be a blowout, it would be Panthers.
Yeah.
I don't see the Oilers ever blowing out this Panthers team.
Yeah.
And then I was kind of like, to the start of the game, I was like, I was pretty accurate. Like the Panthers are going to blow them out, but whatever.
Yeah.
And then even as it got close, I was like, I'm still right. I said it was going to be a tight one. And I'm going to get killed for this if I'm wrong, but I'm fine. I don't care anymore, Dan. I just don't care anymore. This series, I cannot possibly do. You know how Doctor Strange goes like this?
Yeah.
I saw 14 million universes. I cannot see, or maybe this dude to save myself.
Someone just said Dale has predicted this perfectly. There's no way Memes has predicted this perfectly. What are you talking
call
about?
Memes right now.
I was with Memes last night.
Call Memes. Oh no, actually, who said that? Caden. Memes does have the games dead ass, but he said But Caden, you got to own this. He said Panthers blowout win game 3, Oilers blowout win game 4.
Yeah.
And they didn't blow them out. But he does have the games dead ass. So.
Yeah, but so do I.
So does Osh. Osh texted us.
But for the record, so do I. I have said it's going to go you win, I win, you win, I. Like it's. I said it was going to be a split.
Yep.
Like so, if that's the case, sure. But give me credit too, Caden.
Yep. Doctor Strange. Blah, 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 a million.
Caden just says 100%. He has again wrong because
Well,
he said
has,
blowout.
he has.
No, we can't say 100%.
Yeah,
if we're saying games, then I got the games right too.
98%. I've seen 14 million universes, Dan. The Panthers still win this series in one of them. That's what just happened last night. The Oilers, all the lore, all the bullshit we were talking about, what had gone away because it was like, oh shit, the Oilers threw a fit and it's broken and whatever. The Panthers are inevitable.
Yeah.
They're so good. The Panthers are that good. Like that's what I've actually learned. That's what's fucking crazy. The Panthers are that good. They actually are the better team. They should go back to back. But the fact that you are significantly better than the Oilers and it's 2-2, what confirms to me that you can't win. The Oilers are so like pesky,
resilient.
It's
crazy how resilient they are.
Yep. So the Panthers can win. I'm saving the one, but I'm telling you, I've seen 14 million universes, and the Panthers only win this series still in one of them.
Yeah, I again, I'm not telling you to hit the panic button if you're the Panthers, but I will say, based on these playoffs, what it feels like right now is that the Oilers will never lose again. That's what it feels like right now. Again, based on the 3 previous series.
Mm-hmm. And
it feels like this was the game where they were like this, whoops, like got into it, got into a good rhythm.
Remember when Laz said, and I don't know if everybody saw morning cup of hockey yesterday, but when Laz was like, the Oilers are actually going to have more pressure too. I will give him, because I agreed with him, and I agreed with him then, I agree with him now, I'll agree with him my whole life. I will give him if the Oilers lose game 5, It feels a lot like the Toronto series, Red, and Toronto won that game 6, but it feels a lot like if the Oilers lose game 5, they're like, oh my God.
Yeah.
After all of that, now we're just going to go back to Florida and lose. Whereas the Panthers can lose game 5 and go, well, we got to fucking win game 6.
Go home and take care of business. Yeah.
So it is going to be a gnarly game for both teams stressed, but it's going to be a gnarly game for Edmonton where you're like, you can't come this far to only come this far. But man, I'm so with you where they go, dude, the belief, because dude, buddy, the Panthers are so like justifiably, but they're so cocky still. They're like, we're fine, dude. Like we keep puking these games up, but it doesn't matter. And I'm like, dude, you puke 4 of them up though, you lose the cup. That's how this works.
You gotta stop puking.
Dude, you puke 4 times, you lose.
Dramamine. Like you've got to stop puking.
So I'm like, dude, careful. But I think the Oilers' belief is right there with them now because they go, we can't die, dude. We're young and we alive.
Yeah.
We're never gonna die. That's how they feel right now. Maybe the last thing I'll say, and I know some people don't believe in this bullshit, but if you are, I might even set up for this, dude.
Thank God.
Look at me in the eye. If you are the Florida Panthers organization and you are 0-7 when you have brought a Dolphins player to bang the drum before the game, and you bring out Jason Taylor, the Dolphin, to bang this drum and then lose, are you insane?
Truly?
Like, I know it's like, who cares?
No, I care. and it's also one of these things. Like, you want to say who cares? I don't give a baker's fuck who bangs the drum at your game. Can teams stop doing this bullshit nonsense? No one gives a flying fuck who bangs the drum, who fucking cranks the horn.
Going.
Like, shut the fuck up. Stop doing these things that are jinxing your team and get that putrid loser franchise, dude, out of your fucking barn. It is actually the stupidest shit I've ever seen that they keep going, you know who we should get? Like, when there are idiots on the internet like us talking about this, like, what are you doing? What are you allowing Taylor Swift into your fucking arena for? Like, I would literally ban her. I'd be like, get out of here, dude. Like, what are we doing here? Like, get Dolphins players away from your team fast as possible.
The Taylor Swift one, I agree with, but it would be hard. It would be hard to literally be like, you can't come in.
Yeah, can you imagine that? Can you imagine if the Swifties found out that you banned her from the arena?
Dude, the Panthers would fold. The franchise would fold if they got the Swifties on them. And I gotta say, pal, too, the fucking security. Like, we were just popping in the elevators and shit. It was actually if you even accidentally hit the floor that Taylor Swift was on last night, the elevator girl was like, hey, where do you think you're going? And I was like,
being in that suite with her was like, I've never seen more people like frozen and stand. I was like, this is awful. Like, is anyone enjoying watching this game?
Dude, so the Red checked in with Yager yesterday, and they put him on the Jumbotron. But I was like, oh, shit, sharp action. Now we know the scoop. Yager's going to bang the drum tonight with his 20-year-old girlfriend. Shout out to him. That's sick because he's banging her tonight, too.
Oh, God.
But, dude, we
gotta end this.
The audacity to bring a Dolphin.
Oh, it's
I actually am like, someone should be fired for that. I'm dead serious.
Oh, I agree.
I would bring in, and you know what, dude? For the next fucking game, I would bring in a New England Patriot. I'd be like, whatever is the most anti-Dolphin thing you can do to bang the drum at game 6, that's what you need.
Yeah.
Like, let fucking Red do it before you let a Dolphin bang the fucking drum when you have only lost. And then you go, not this time. That we don't believe in that stuff.
Absolutely.
That's one of the most mind-blowing decisions I've ever seen.
As we close out this ep, do we want to touch on any of the awards nonsense? Do we want to touch on any of the?
Oh, dude, I actually do really quickly.
All right, let's quickly do this. Not breaking news. Rumor boys here. Little whispers. Couple of contracts. Looks like Trent Frederick is going to be staying in Edmonton.
Yep.
And
good for him.
Looks like it's going to be a good contract with some term. Love that for him. And then all signs are pointing to Sam Bennett, 8 years staying in Florida. So Florida
also
fans,
good for him.
If you need something to be happy about right now, I think you're going to get that news pretty soon. Sam Bennett's not going anywhere is what it sounds like. We also got the Hart results.
Yes.
And Connor Hellebuck has won the MVP of the NHL, first goaltending Hart winner since Carey Price. And the voting came out. And, dude, I don't know, man. Like, I just don't know. This is not Connor Hellebuck hate, but I have no idea how you give Connor Hellebuck MVP.
Yep.
I really don't get it.
Oh, I think it's a tragedy.
And then the voting, dude, like there needs to be a process of who gets votes. And you need to lose your right to vote. Like when we see
Caden just said 5 people voted Hellebuck 5th, 8 people voted Draisaitl 5th. Who the hell are these 13 voters? Continue.
Yeah. Like you need to lose your right to vote straight up. Like I believe that when you have 3 players, 3 with more first place votes than Nikita Kucherov, like the anti-Russian bias and like anti-Kuch attitude bias is actually wild.
Yep.
Like he probably should have won last year.
Kucherov has been literally robbed of 2 straight MVPs.
It's actually kind of insane to me. Like if you're telling me it's not anti-Russian bias, you're lying. And let's not get political.
Yep.
But I'm just saying, like, when I'm saying let's not get political, let's stop bringing politics into hockey. Like Kuch is just a player, and the voting is mental. But then the big one, find the guy's name, because I'd like to call him out. There was a first place vote for one Nick Suzuki.
My phone's dead. I can't find it. I'm dead. My phone's dead.
Nick Suzuki.
Dude, Nick Suzuki got a first place MVP vote. And I love Nick Suzuki. He's a great player. A first place MVP vote.
Dude, I'm trying to find it right now.
It was like Derek something. But somebody too said, Leighton said, boys, my $5 Cooch bet. Leighton, don't even get me started, pal. Yeah, me and Dan and our boy Josh had big money. I wasn't even talking about it on the pod, really. I didn't want to jinx it. We had big money early on Cooch at insane odds. And I was gonna move to Barbados, dude, if Cooch won MVP. So you guys are probably lucky that he didn't win, because I wouldn't have been doing this pod. I'd be in Aruba.
Dylan Laux. He's a wild reporter for the Hockey News.
And Dan, read his whole ballot, by the way. You get, to be clear, everybody, you get 5 votes. You get to order 5 picks for MVP. Read what Dylan voted.
Dude, I almost just read out his Lady Bing.
Oh, that would have been gold.
Like I just looked at it really quick. Because it says number 1, Nick Suzuki.
Oh, he put Suzuki first for everything.
5, he has Frederick Gaudreau.
Norris, Nick Suzuki.
What?
He loves him.
His voting for the Hart Trophy went 1, Nick Suzuki, 2, Leon Draisaitl, 3, Nikita Kucherov, 4, Jack Eichel, 5, Nico Hischier.
Hellebuck not named.
Dylan Laux, dude, wild card.
The landslide MVP winner, which I don't agree with, but the landslide MVP winner not named, Nick Suzuki first.
Yeah, we got someone in here. President's Trophy on the back of the best goalie season since Price. I'm confused why you guys are so against it. I'm against it because it wasn't better than Linus Ullmark.
Look up, who was that? JT.
Well, like I'm not talking shit. It's just
look up Linus Ullmark's stats 2 years ago.
Awesome. Yeah, give him the Vezina. Like
above 2 goals against.
And you know what cracks me up, dude? There's this one.
Caden says Suzuki was robbed of the Vezina.
Suzuki was robbed of the Vezina and the Norris. There's one Jets fan who like comes at us on Twitter whenever we like. He's like, you never give the Jets enough attention.
I'm a Rocket man. I love the Jets.
Someone was like, dude, Cooch fucking disappears in the playoffs. Loser. Can't give him the heart. And I'm like, excuse me?
Connor Hellebuck gave up 1,000 goals
and then
to the Blues.
On top of that, this same guy, he goes like this. Dude, Cooch fucking disappears in the playoffs and his team loses in 5 in the first round. And I'm like, you're proving why he's the MVP.
Yeah, right.
Like if he disappears, the team loses immediately.
Yep.
It's absolutely crazy.
That was insane, Dan. And
I'm being bitter.
What's all right?
I was gonna win $10,000 if Cooch won.
God, I was gonna be
That's
so
actually where
sick,
I'm
dude. But that voting is a tragedy, and
It
I
is.
wish, dude, the awards are so crazy. Like, I can't believe it. They're just like tweeting out. They're like, anyway, this guy won Selkie. We gave him the trophy. Well, you know what he was looking. I don't even know what the awards are going to be this year. The
Well,
award show.
I actually don't mind this. It's that why are we doing an awards ceremony?
Yeah, fair.
Like that. Don't do that. Just do it like this.
Yeah, Leighton, thank you. Olmark, a 189, 938, 189, 46-1. Not a finalist for Hart.
No.
And then Hellebuck, I'm guessing here, but it's like 922, I want to say.
Everyone just goes crazy about the games. They're like, oh, it's the games. And I'm like, I don't care.
Who gives a flying fuck,
Don't
dude?
care. It's just
dude just won MVP when Kucherov won his second straight Art Ross and is the only time the Lightning score.
Yeah. And Lindsay. Like,
and the players, the league is like, he's the best player I've ever seen.
It's that's why I'm confused, guys. Like, I don't know. To me, is he amazing? Yeah. Was he amazing this year? Yes. But I don't know. I know Jets fans are gonna be like, classic media, not giving us attention, not giving us love.
Dude, he's the Loch Ness. I can't believe anyone voted for anyone else.
They won the President's Trophy. It's great. But like, again, Olmark just did this and didn't even get talked about. Legitimately, I feel like people went like this. Hellebuck has to win the Hart. And people just started talking about it and it became a narrative and then people voted on it.
It's actually
And
crazy that it is just the writers. Like, it's just people being influenced by like social pressures. Like, isn't that actually insane?
Yeah. That
it's just like dudes who are like, yeah, someone else said Hellebuck to me, so now I have to vote for him. And I'm like, no.
And that is definitely what happened. All right, folks. We got to wrap this up. CP's got to go to bed. That's going to do it for us here at the Empty Netters podcast. Game 4 reactions. We will get this pod up. So don't worry if you missed the live. It's going to have our little chat with Logan Thompson in there. It's going to be beautiful stuff. Holy smokes. Quick turnaround. Game tomorrow. We will be ripping you a live pod again after the game. We'll get back to right after the games, but yeah, with all the travel, leaving the arena, we wanted to do this with you today. So great stuff. Enjoy your Friday. Buy some merch. CP's rocking
I got some merch.
Just rest, pal. Yeah, hit up the shop, guys. EmptyNetters.shop. Get some great stuff. Enjoy your time. We will see you next time, and until we do, skate.